Page 6 now, non-compliance with a judge's arbitrary immigration edict. Team Trump did not meet the unconstitutional deadline imposed by a lawyer dressed in a black robe who sided with an illegal alien who is a criminal by definition, who dragged her young child 2,000 miles through Mexico and is now represented by the ACLU.
The Trump administration might have more difficulties in meeting a July 26 deadline to reunite the remaining 2,000 older children with their parents.
Judges worried more about these criminals who break into our country than the rule of law. Joining me now, the founder of the American Truth Project and Daily Ledger contributor, Barry Nussbaum. Barry, lower courts at this point are completely out of control. And so I ask rhetorically, who is in charge of the lower courts per the United States Constitution? Well, that would be the United States Congress. So it's Congress that's allowing these lawyers dressed in black robes to dictate immigration policy from the bench, and they're doing absolutely nothing about it.
Graham, the question that is not being answered by anybody, that really is profoundly confusing to me, is where's the discussion on who these people are? Every single one of the adults are criminals by definition under the law. Number two, the law is just being enforced. It wasn't passed by Trump or his Congress. It's a Barack Obama era law that is being enforced uniformly. Nobody seems to talk about that. Number three, you know what's really amazing? The ACLU, with tons of donated money, is fighting to have reunification, where in many cases it's impossible because the parents were deported already because they committed crimes. I don't mean the breaking into the country crime. I mean crimes like murder, robbery, sexual abuse, child molestation, drug trafficking, and so on. And get this, Graham, they left the kids behind voluntarily because the United States government wouldn't deport them individually, just the parents who gave up their kids. And in some cases, when these parents are contacted down in Central or South America, they say, well, I'm not sure if reunification is what I want, or I didn't know it was going to happen, but I'll come back if you'll let me in. I mean, people really need to know the whole story, Graham, don't they?
They're using them as pawns here, and our judges are complying. They're, in effect, forcing catch and release. It's judicially forced catch and release, which the president is trying to stop. And on the other hand, they're ending zero tolerance, which the president is trying to enforce immigration law by judicial fiat. It's an absolute mess, and it is the domain of the Congress to fix these judges who are out of control. Now, I'm sure the president is not happy about this. The trade imbalance last month with China got a little bit worse, and it's even worse in this case because China, I don't know if anybody really paid attention to this with all the fireworks going on overseas in Europe, but China devalued its currency once again. So this is the money manipulation that the president of the United States is trying to stop.
Yeah, there's a couple things at issue here, Graham. Number one, you're right, the trade surplus got even worse, or imbalance, depending how you look at it from their side or our side. And as a result, we are importing even more, which puts pressure on American manufacturers because we can't compete with their pricing. The statistic may be misleading. It may have been front-loaded in the sense that Chinese exporters were rushing to beat the tariffs. And so, in other words, right, it didn't get worse. It just pulled last quarter numbers from next quarter's numbers, which may be what happened. The second thing to think about here is what's going to happen when the tariffs kick in. If things equalize, it will be great for American manufacturers, maybe less so for American consumers. I know Chinese and American trade delegates are talking, oh boy, around the clock, trying to run down a new solution before a trade war blows up in everybody's face.
Yeah, because in the end, nobody wants any tariffs because they're only going to hurt the consumers, whether they're American consumers or Chinese consumers. Exactly. And, of course, we know our history, 1930, can drive us into a depression. 30 seconds left, Barry, almost out of time, but I got to go to this amazing economic phenomenon. We cut taxes, and revenues of the Treasury actually go up.
Yeah, we're collecting more money than ever before from taxes, Graham, in American history in adjusted dollars. The thing that still terrifies me is the debt is still accelerating and going up faster than that.
Right.
We need a day of reckoning. Congress needs to do their job and cut their spending now.
Well put. But to my point about the revenues going to the Treasury, this is exactly what happened in the 1980s. It's happening all over again, but you're dead on target once again. Congress needs to step up about the courts. Congress needs to step up about this wasteful spending that's driving our national debt to $22 trillion. Barry, thanks.